It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NFL.
Hurts, quarterback draw. He's at the 5. He is in for the touchdown. Jalen Hurts.
I guess his leg's all right.
Jalen does a little dance.
Encroachment, defense number 93. Washington has been advised that at some point the referee can award a score if this type of behavior happens again.
Hurts takes the snap. He gives it to Barkley. Barkley runs wide. Touchdown! His third of the day!
He's special. Gosh.
A.J. Brown with the block.
Mahomes looking left. Pass caught at the 5-yard line. Angler near side. Leaping forward. Xavier Worthy. Touchdown! Kansas City burning the defender on the near side, Cole Bishop. And the Chiefs get an 11-yard touchdown pass, Mahomes, to the rookie Xavier Worthy. First down play. Mahomes keeps it on an RPO at the 5. Gets a lead block. He goes into the end zone near side. Touchdown! Kansas City! Patrick Mahomes, a 16-yard run. His second rushing touchdown of the game.
The Super Bowl is set. It is the Eagles and the Chiefs. PK, so many storylines. 4 turnovers for the Commanders, 3 fumbles. They really didn't give themselves a chance from the start. And the defense gave up a touchdown every time they turned the ball over. So the Eagles rolled 55-24, and then the Chiefs and Bills was supposed to go right down to the wire, and it went right down to the wire. Dalton Kincaid having the ball bang off his arm as he tried to come back for it. 4th down. Would they have gone down and scored? We can debate that forever, but plenty of drama, and a local guy, we had Cole Bishop in there. Local guy's right in the middle of it.
Well, he should have caught the ball. I mean,
if you can touch it, you can catch it. That's been the NFL rule for a long time.
Oh, that's been my rule of my life.
Dirty old man.
But I never think one play wins or loses the game. So I'm not saying he lost the game for him. I mean, he probably thinks he should have caught it.
I think he thinks he should have caught it, and I think he'll think he should have caught it years from now.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not the game is on him by any stretch. I don't say that. One play, no, I never understood that. I never bought that. I never believed that's true. There's many plays. Get the first down. Why was it the referee on the bottom side of the screen ruled that he had the
short.
First? No, the bottom.
Oh, was the bottom was the guy who said he had it, and then the top said he didn't?
Yeah, and then they couldn't get an inch and all that. I mean, if you're Buffalo, it's heartbreaking. That's the bottom
There's
line
so
there.
many woulda, coulda, shouldas for Baltimore or for Buffalo. How about never take points off the board? I've heard announcers tell me, and they kick the extra point, they take it off the board. I get it, you had the penalty, you're closer, but you didn't get it. Then you double down, you don't get it. Then they get their 2-point conversion.
Yeah, that kind of canceled each other out with the other teams not getting them each time and all that. Sure. How do I know that would have made the difference?
You don't know how it would have played out if it had been 24-21 in the third quarter. But you can play it out and say, well, they picked up 3 points there and they won by 3 points. So there's a bunch of woulda, coulda, shouldas. This call, those 2-point conversions, catch the ball there, I mean, you can go on and on. And Bills fans have all offseason to go on and on because they come up short in the AFC title game like so many teams do against the Chiefs.
Yeah, frustrating if you're Buffalo and maddening, and the Chiefs survive again. Probably would win the Super Bowl, I would think. Who knows? We'll see in 13 days.
Can the Eagles run over the Chiefs the way they ran over the Commanders?
Well, they have to.
The Commanders were the 30th best run defense in the regular season, so a little easier. Chiefs were 8th. Better run D there. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll get 2 weeks to worry about that. Cowboys hire offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer as their new head coach. Former Cowboy wide receiver Michael Irvin criticized the move, saying, here's my issue. We lost an opportunity here. I don't know what will happen with Coach Schottenheimer and the Dallas Cowboys, but Jerry's a shrewd businessman. And this opportunity, I'm shocked he did not see. Irvin obviously all in on hiring Deion Sanders away from Colorado. But it's Brian Schottenheimer. And Jerry can hold his post-game press conferences and be the voice of the Cowboys and carry on in the spotlight.
You don't think he would have done that if Deion was there?
Man, those conversations stopped, and I wonder how much Deion went at that. Like, there's got to be one voice, Jerry, and you're messing it up. And then he doesn't go there.
You think that's what he said?
Okay. I think it messes it up.
Okay.
And I think Deion's shrewd enough to see that. He probably didn't say it just like that because that'd be pretty harsh, but I think that's what he's getting at. Bears are hiring former Saints head coach Dennis Allen as their new defensive coordinator. The Seahawks are hiring former Saints offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak in the same role.
So Deion said that, apparently? Did I miss something?
No, he didn't. Deion didn't say anything. They had a conversation.
Oh, you're assuming he said
yes,
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Deion didn't say, well, I mean, he said something, but what he has said has not been reported.
I don't know that the job was offered. Do you?
I don't know that the job was offered, but they had discussions.
I'm sure Jerry talked to many people.
Yeah. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
So many people, they look at your dad and say, like, that's his involvement is a bad thing, but how much has that been a positive thing for you just to be ready for these bright lights?
I ain't know your parents, being involved in wanting the best for you is the problem.
Right.
I think as parents, each and every one would want the best for their kids. So the fact that he has the opportunity to do that for me and he has the best quarterback in the country, he's supposed to do that.
That's Shadur Sanders right there, Colorado Buffalo's quarterback. Not sure if he's going to throw at the NFL Combine next month. He's at the East-West Shrine Bowl this week, but he is not practicing or playing in the game. Figures to be a high draft pick, so I guess go and do interviews, but no more than that. Ohio State offensive coordinator Chip Kelly, reportedly a top target of the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars, as those two franchises are looking to hire a new coordinator for their offenses. What would you advise him to do if you're Chip Kelly's advisor? Stay at the machine that is Ohio State?
Take the money.
Yeah.
It's not like if you fail, so what? It's not like you're going to be out of work.
Nope.
He hasn't been out of work forever.
Nope. He's had jobs that have gone great, jobs that have gone mediocre, jobs that have gone poorly, but he's always worked.
Take the money.
Penn State's hiring Ohio State defensive coordinator Jim Knowles. He'll be the defensive coordinator. Knowles will have a 3-year contract. The deal will pay him an average of $3.1 million annually over the life of the deal. That is the new record. Sure to be broken, but he's the first $3 million coordinator in college football that we know of.
And the Ohio State fans so bitter about it. Oh, they're in the same conference. Oh, man. This is going to be brutal.
Think they're more mad at him, or are they more mad at Ohio State for getting outbid?
Oh, no. They're totally mad at it. If you leave Ohio State,
they hate you.
I had an argument with a guy at a golf course in St. George once, Ohio State fan. Nobody ever leaves us. Okay. And Urban's our guy. He won't go anywhere. You don't leave Ohio State. Of course, he did. I tried to tell him, Urban's not a Ohio State guy. Urban's an urban guy.
Urban is the brand.
I mean, we were playing golf and we got hooked up, and he was just so passionate. I said, you can think what you want. I mean, these people, it takes on their identity in life. I saw a bunch of people on social media, guys like 35, 45, 50 years old, just bent out of shape that this Knowles dude would leave. Like he was the difference maker. They take it so personal. Their self-esteem and their self-worth is wrapped up in their multi-million-dollar football program. I never could understand that. But I'm grateful for those types of people who do that.
Because they listen to radio shows.
Keeps me employed here locally. Then they get so involved in it, and it just means so much.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Utah Jazz.
When you don't make shots and a team like that is constantly playing after a miss, it's hard to get your defense set. It's hard to shrink those gaps appropriately because they're coming at you with a lot of force. 12 for 47 from 3. I actually think we generated a bunch of good looks tonight, and for whatever the reasons are, they didn't go in.
The Utah Jazz get blown out. Memphis Grizzlies 125-103, the final score, 25% three-point shooting. This one, you could tell they were in trouble early, PK, and then in the third quarter they got blown off the floor. But, hey, they're 10-33, and they got the second worst record in the NBA, so there's something.
Well, what do you do when shots don't go in? How about you sit George?
No.
6 for 20, 3 for 11, 3 for 15. Man, 2 for 11 from 3. 2 for 5 from 3. 0 for 8 from 3. Man.
This one was special. 3 of 15 from the floor and 0 of 8 from the arc.
For the month, he's shooting 36% from the field, 31% from 3.
Both down from his season averages, and the season averages aren't that good.
I've seen enough of this.
But you can get to 10 and 33. Maybe don't sit him yet.
You think they're playing him because they know he can't make shots?
They know the numbers you know, and they're not sitting him.
So is that a yes?
That would be a yes. I mean, you got all these young guys. You can play somebody else, positionless basketball. You can put somebody else out there. And they're not. Maybe they think he's about to break through. Maybe they think he's on the verge of something.
Well, he'll have a good shooting game coming up.
Yep.
He just has to. The law of numbers. Now, in January, he was pretty good. Maybe that was it. Maybe it was January. Although he was only 20% from the field. He's better than that. From 3, January shot the ball well. I'm just wondering what they've got there. It's a mystery to me. There's at times he looks good, and other times he doesn't. But I give him credit to have the confidence to keep firing away. And it's better to learn about it this year when the only thing at stake is losing. So maybe that's the right thing. Let him go, man. See what you got. Like, same thing with Collier. You sort of already know what you got in Sexton. Certainly what you know we got in Collins and Marketing. I think you know what you have in Kessler now, too. I think you can say that Kessler has established who he is in the NBA. He can get better. But like I said to him, the training camp, I said, worst case scenario. And he said, oh, that's a terrible way to start a question. And I said, hold on here a second. Worst case scenario, this is what we've got with the young man, which is good. It's very good. And if he gets a little bit better, if he gets a lot better, then really you're on to something.
Jazz are back in action at the Delta Center tonight. Milwaukee Bucks are here. Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo. 7 o'clock. Pregame starts 6 o'clock with Jake Scott and Tim Lacombe. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NBA.
There were some good results over the weekend for the Utah Jazz, PK. You like watching teams pick up their 12th and 13th wins and pull away from the Utah Jazz?
Oh, it's the best ever.
Getting a little separation here as Toronto wins again. They're on 13 victories now.
You got the standings there?
It's about time. I had them, yes. But I'm starting to memorize them, getting locked in. And the Hornets beat the Pelicans. So Charlotte gets win number 12.
Somebody had to lose there.
Exactly. Those were two bottom feeders going at it. And it wasn't close. Charlotte won by 31. Phoenix Suns center Yusuf Nurkic said he had not spoken to head coach Mike Budenholzer in 2 months, going so far as to say the two don't have a relationship. Nurkic was benched earlier this month and has not played since January 7th. Nurkic said he'll stay engaged, saying, for me, just be a pro and do the best I can, work and stay ready for whatever might be, but there is no chaos or bringing that to the team. They already have plenty of it. Trying to be as professional as I can and work my ass off for something else.
Okay, but is he a player? Does he have any stature to be complaining about not playing?
Not really. I mean, is he a player? Yeah, he's been in the league a long time, but is he the difference between winning and losing? No, he's a role guy. He's a serviceable big, and maybe he's getting older and he's slipping. I mean, the not talking to the coach for 2 months is kind of odd, but...
Well, yeah, of course, Budenholzer said that's not the case.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. You're not worth to have drama.
That's true. Mavericks have had some injuries, and they're having some more. Maxi Kleber suffering a right foot fracture during the loss to the Celtics. He's expected to miss extended time alongside center Derek Lively II is out with a stress fracture in his ankle. Reserve center Dwight Powell missed the last 4 games. Daniel Guilford is the lone healthy big there. And, of course, Luka Doncic has been out, and Kyrie Irving's battled health issues. It's not going right for the Mavs. Will that impact the Jazz? They've been projected as a possible landing spot for Collins in a trade. But are they close enough, or are they just going to be injured, and is there a point to it? DJ and PK.
Hashtag college basketball.
I thought the biggest difference was just the defensive rebounding. That's all we talked about. At halftime, they had 10-0 boards in the first half. They only had 3 in the second, which allowed us to get out and hold them to one shot. And that's how you go 52-29 in the second half, by just rebounding. So that was my main takeaway.
Kevin Young on what changed for BYU in their win. That game was tied with 1 minute left in the half. Egor Demon hit a 3 right before halftime. Hit a couple of free throws also. And then he came out and hit another 3. It's a sign, PK. When Demon starts banging down threes at home, they got to win, and they did. They pulled away and blew Cincinnati out.
Oh, I thought the biggest difference was being unable to miss from 3.
Hitting everything.
Yeah. I mean, they shoot like that, they're going to win 85% of the games that they play. So, I think, yeah. You shoot 62.5%, you're going to win 85% of the games you play. So go to that. Rebounding, I mean, I know you have to say rebounding and defense. That's coaching press conference 101. You must say that.
10 offensive rebounds and a half is too many. But they did win at the three-point line 62% to 18%. So,
yeah.
Advantage BYU.
You shoot the lights out like that, you're going to win. I'm going to up it. I'm going to go 87%.
Right, a kid.
What a shooting exhibition. You had Jana Neepkins for the Utes just dropping 6 out of 7 threes earlier in the afternoon as Roxy Bernstein called both games. And then you had all that phenomenal shooting by the Cougars, including Elijah Crawford at the buzzer, for which they had to apologize for. How dare he take a shot? That's not who we are. I wish Young was. That's exactly who we are. We play to the final whistle. You don't like it? Defend us.
Another team that shot the 3 very well would be the Utah State Aggies. 51.5% from 3 as they go into Air Force and blow out the Falcons. 87-58.
Now, Scotty's taken the like what you do. Somebody told you to preview the show the night before on social media, so you've been doing that for a good while, and then he was doing that. Air Force, they're a tough team. The hell they are.
They're 3-17.
Well, they took San Diego State to the end.
They're 0-9 in conference.
They suck.
0-9 speaks for itself.
But you got to build up the opponent. And Imart had another great shooting game.
That'd be Ian Martinez, who had 16 points and was 4 of 7 from beyond the arc.
Well, they got the New Mexico Lobos in the next couple of weeks twice.
And that's where it's at, right? With the Lobos 9-1, Utah State's 8-1. That is the top of the Mountain West Conference.
Imart's going to have to play well against that team.
You just want to say Imart as many times as possible. Get one thing and beat it into the ground over and over.
Well, that's what we
That
do.
is the essence of comedy.
They call it.
Not Kmart, Imart. You think New Mexico's in?
In what?
The NCAA tournament. What are the stakes here for these games?
Well, no
You want to
one's
win
in
the
the
regular
NCAA
season
tournament.
title. What?
No one's in the NCAA tournament.
There's still plenty of time to mess it up. Iowa State's in. No one in the Mountain West is in, though. Lobos are 17-4 on the year, 9-1 in conference. Looking forward to those games. Elsewhere, Utah got beat at home by Baylor by 15, 76-61. Now the Utes get Cincinnati, and Baylor goes to BYU. Old school. Not really Thursday, Saturday, but nonetheless, they're making the trip here for a couple of games. And
Yeah, it becomes a must-win for Utah if you want to have any kind of season. You got to win. You got to beat Cincinnati.
they're 2-6 in the conference. They're below you. Must win.
BYU and Baylor, that's another story. Looking forward to that game. That's tomorrow, right?
Yes, those are both Tuesday games.
Yeah.
UVU has won 10 in a row. They beat Seattle 70-66, the final score. 10 straight wins. They are 7-0 in conference. The Antelopes, you're anticipating the game with your Lopes. You and your teaching degree from Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon's second in the WAC right now.
Yeah, that's Saturday.
7-0 UVU, 5-1 Grand Canyon.
Down in Phoenix, right?
Huge matchup.
I just played at their golf course. Played it a couple weeks ago. About 9 days ago. Used to be Maryvale. For all of you people who live in the west side of Phoenix are familiar with it, they just took it over, and now it's Grand Canyon.
So Grand Canyon just bought themselves a golf course.
I guess.
Or rebranded.
I don't know who owns it, but it was a city course. When I was a kid, you'd have played in Canto or Maryvale. Canto right downtown, Maryvale on the west side. And it's the same course. It's just now called Grand Canyon. And the whole thing is Grand Canyon. You go into the pro shop, and it's nothing but Grand Canyon.
Logo, yeah. All logo wear.
So, yeah. And you can see they've got some cordoned off practice areas for the team.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag golf.
Harris English wins the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines, 8 under par, holding off the final round charge from Sam Stevens, who went low with the 68, but came up a little short.
I'm going to say is just you don't want to get under the skin of Dottie, and it happened. She was pissed.
What happened?
Slow play, man. She was complaining about it. It's taking 5+ hours to play that thing. Can't have that, man.
Were they able to pinpoint who it was, or was it multiple people and the wind just slowed everything down?
It wasn't really wind on Saturday. Just slow play. Got to get going, man. Get faster. TV ratings are lagging, and TV ratings, I mean, they're as important as your eternal salvation these days. And a lot of big names dropped out from playing it. So yeah, they got to pick up the pace. There's no doubt about it.
Zach Blair finished tied for 32nd at 1 over. Patrick Fishburne and Tony Finau missed the cut. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NHL.
We're stingy defensively. It's a team who's really good defensively as well, but we create off our forecheck, off our intensity, and we had enough offense. Unfortunately, we made a mistake to score a second goal and then throw us off a little better than like the way we respond to them.
The Utah Hockey Club started the week well with a couple of wins, but ends with a pair of losses Friday night at Winnipeg, and then there's Andre Tourney, the head coach, after a 3-1 loss at Ottawa. 1-1 going to the third. They had a chance to get a point, maybe two if things went their way, but I don't know what the mistake was in the second goal, but man, they just played right through them. That looked easy. Tic-tac-toe, puck was in the back of the net, and they ended up losing 3-1. Utah Hockey Club now off today, off tomorrow, back home for 4 in a row. It starts with the Pittsburgh Penguins Wednesday night at the Delta Center. Last place team, chance to pick up some points. They're 6 out of a playoff berth right now. What is trending? Brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Coming up, Jason Cole, the 33rdteam.com. We're talking Super Bowl with him at 8:30. And Steve Cleveland, former BYU basketball coach, joins us at 9:05. Coming up next, football. Your reaction. Should it have been caught? We will get to that next. Stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present...
This is JJ and Alex.
So Ohio State's not an A+, by the way. They're the national champions. They didn't get an A+. Don't you just automatically give an A+ to the team that wins a national championship?
You know, it's funny. You talked about grading on a curve, and you talk about that kid in the classroom that didn't take it very serious, but still ended up getting 100% on the test.
Yeah.
But you know they were even better than that. Ohio State fans wanted Ryan Day fired a month ago, and I'm supposed to sit here and say that they deserve an A? They won the national championship, and you can say they underachieved this year.
You are speaking insane right now.
Once they actually had to get serious, they absolutely crushed everybody in the playoffs.
You won the national championship.
Why did that team not play like that against Michigan?
So you don't give them an A+ because they lost?
No! Because they don't deserve it. They didn't earn it.
National champion. Yeah, but I expected more out of you. What do you mean expected more out of them?
14 and what? What did Michigan do last year?
You are the guy who
Michigan went 15-0 last year.
Catch JJ and Alex afternoons from 3 to 6. Presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ PK, it's time for hot takes or toast. Should it have been caught? PK, you put that up on our Facebook page, and that got us to the referees. Oh, sure, there are people who talked about the play. Daniel, if it touches your hands, it should be caught. Well, actually, I think it touched his elbow. That was the problem. But Caleb, he should have paid the refs like the Chiefs did. He could have gotten bailed out. Caleb thinks money changed hands.
You think it would have been a roughing the passer if it was Mahomes who threw that ball?
Christopher, sure, why not? Find something. Defensive holding on a receiver. Better question is, should have been a first down? The answer is yes. And I'm on Team Meteor for the Super Bowl.
That is the better question. Yeah.
I thought it was a first down watching it. I thought he got there. I thought the other call that was bad was that interception or catch. I thought the ball hit the ground and it was clearly incomplete.
But the ball can hit the ground.
It was either an interception or an incomplete
But the
pass.
ball
It was
can hit
not
the
a
ground.
reception.
The ball did hit the ground, but that's not the determining factor of whether it's incomplete or.
But I didn't think either guy had control of it.
There was no
Okay,
possession.
that's the more important.
No possession and the ball hit the ground.
Yeah, but the ball hitting the ground is irrelevant.
No possession and the ball hit the ground.
And hitting the ground is irrelevant.
It's not.
Yes,
Did
it
you have
is.
possession when the ball hits the ground?
It's possession. You can hit the ground. That doesn't matter. Did the ball move when it hit the ground? Not the fact that it hit the ground.
Christopher says, I'm on Team Meteor for the Super Bowl. He's clearly not fired up. They do these maps where, if the state is rooting for Philadelphia, they put the state in green. If the state's rooting for Kansas City, they put them in red. So he's got one here that's got the two logos, and the whole map is gray. America doesn't like the Eagles or the Chiefs.
They don't?
Theoretically.
Uh-oh, those bad TV ratings. Oh, no.
No, it's the Super Bowl. It gets what it gets.
It does?
Yeah, it doesn't move that much.
I'm glad you know that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have any idea, nor would I give a crap.
America watches the Super Bowl because it's what they do. Tony puts it on Josh Allen. Allen didn't recognize the blitz. They only needed 5 yards. Where's the hot receiver on a blitz that he could have thrown to? Well, he did see a wide open. He just couldn't throw it far enough. He did see a wide open Dalton Kincaid headed cross field down there. If he could have launched it, it would have been a huge play, but couldn't throw it far enough.
He did throw far enough. I mean, it was right there.
Well, Kincaid had to come back for it. But, yeah, it was there to be caught.
That's far enough.
Well, not in stride for a touchdown or whatever.
They didn't need a touchdown. They needed a first down.
And considering the circumstances of that blitz, the fact that he got in close.
Off the back foot, jumping backwards. Scotty, it was a first down! Exclamation point. It's driving people nuts.
I think there's some bias for the Chiefs. Normally we don't hear that in the NFL, but we're hearing it a lot this year for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
What do the Chiefs bring that makes the powers that be want to be biased toward them?
Popularity, I suppose. Or at least people will watch them even if they're rooting against them. Watchability. So I guess watchability.
You just told me that the
I do. I think when you get,
don't matter, so what difference does it make?
I think when you get this deep into the season, the conference title games and the Super Bowl,
so
they largely get what they want.
Okay.
They largely get who they get because the golf moves and gets out of the way. What are you going to channel surf to?
So what?
There's not much on.
What is watchability? I mean, it doesn't matter. How could it be watchability when you just told me that it doesn't matter?
Yeah.
It could be whomever, Carolina and whoever else is
Jacksonville.
Yeah,
terrible.
Right, and it doesn't matter. So
people would still watch it.
We don't hear that in the NFL. We get bad refereeing complaints all the time, particularly if your team loses, and that happens. But it's not couched in
they want
Tim
the league
Donaghy and like they do at the NBA, and that it's a rogue ref. No, it's not. They're aware of the line. They're aware of the stars, and in the NBA. Quite often, not always, but quite often, stars are in the bigger markets. And clearly, in the NBA, that appears to matter. It doesn't matter to me. I'll watch it no matter what. But you hear that in the NBA has been saddled with that for years. But the NFL hasn't. But now this year, we're starting to hear the protection of Mahomes and, in general, the Chiefs. But I'm wondering, what do the Chiefs bring to the table outside of outstanding play that makes it, wow, we've got to have them? I mean, Andy Reid is brilliant, but he's not charismatic. the best he does is he's self-deprecating with the cheeseburger stuff. And he's obviously portly. And so he makes fun of that. And many, many guys are portly and probably enjoy that. But it's not like he's some personality that Bill Parcells, a Mike Ditka. We don't really have that in coaching today the way we seem like we did. I'm trying to run through the list. Who is magnetic coaching-wise to where, man, I want to see that team play because that coach is going to do something or he's going to explode. He's going to entertain me in one way or the other. We've got these young dudes who are analytically charged, and it's almost like they're sterile and they may have the looks and all that of a Sean McVay and whatever, but it's not like you're drawn to the game because of those guys. So I don't understand, outside of Mahomes' ability, what draws people to the Chiefs. And he has ability, and he's great. But there's other quarterbacks who have ability, too. Josh Allen has ability. Lamar Jackson has ability. Plenty of them have ability that I'd be comfortable watching. So I don't understand why there's this sudden the league is protecting the Chiefs. What do they get out of it?
2 words.
Don't say Taylor Swift. That's nonsense.
I'm telling you, man.
But the Chiefs have been doing it long before she hooked up, and then she'll be gone. I mean, the game yesterday. It seems like each game there's a reduction of her. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. That's the most astounding thing I've ever seen. Look on her face in the box. It was a big deal last year. Unless I'm misreading it, it doesn't seem like that's near the. We don't get the shots of her going into the stadium and walking in the bowels in the hallways like we used to. That's old news.
It's no longer new.
Right. And whoop-de-doo. Yeah. She's a fan. Wow. What?
That's interesting what you say about the coaches and their personalities. The big coaches, it goes back to college. I mean, at the college level, it's obviously Deion Sanders. And to a lesser degree, but I think Jim Harbaugh's a lightning rod, and he's gone back and forth between college and a pro. Maybe Dan Campbell in Detroit right now?
Yeah, he's a tough guy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all grinders. They all work 90 hours a week during the season, blah, blah, blah. It's all, it's hard work, and they, live and die by the results as they should.
Maybe Sean McVay?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Sean McVay, he's got the look, yeah. but I don't Sean McVay.
Now remember that
he's a young
conference?
guy, and he's a sharp-looking dude and all. But, I got to see the Rams because it's Sean McVay. No, he's another guy who got into it because he had a door flung wide open for him.
McVay.
Yeah. And good for them. That's not to say that they aren't great, but I know a guy down the street who coaches high school ball, and he doesn't have a father or whomever or a grandfather who flung the door wide open for him.
The new Dallas Cowboys head coach.
Yeah. I mean, it's on and on.
Yes.
And that's not to take away anything from them, but they got not just a foot in the door. The door was flung wide open. Yeah. I mean, and the Diamondbacks announcer is Joe Garagiola's grandson, and the late, great Steve Klauke didn't have the door flung right open, but he was just as good, if not better. We all know that. We've listened to him for 3 decades. But none of that attracts me. I'm attracted by great play. And by definition, the Super Bowl gives me great play. Because they have had to win hard-fought games. So I don't care who's in it. I don't see how the Chiefs are more attractive. I would have been just as fine 13 days from now turning on the Commanders and Bills.
And America would have turned that game on.
This game that we have, I'm totally fine with it, but it holds no more allure than if it would have been the other two.
DJ PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. More NFL football with Jason Cole. The 3013.com. He's here at 8:30. Steve Cleveland is talking hoops with us at 9:05 right here in The Zone. The artist of the day, Flo Rida, brought to you by Live Nation. For all of the live concerts events in 2025, check out livenation.com. You sat there and watched all that football yesterday.
I did.
Do you eat in front of AFC and NFC title games the way we all seem to eat in front of the Super Bowl, or it doesn't bring out the food?
I got to eat.
Yeah, no, but it's not the same thing.
Apparently it's not to you, but I mean...
I know, I got to eat is not the same thing as, it's a party. We got to have whatever your favorite food is.
I don't really have a favorite food.
Okay.
Just eat. I ate. Let's see, it was about 3:30. What I have to do, if I want to make it special, the food doesn't matter. But I get that a lot of people it does. So I understand what you're saying. But for me, it has to be that I have the food while I'm actually watching the game. I can't have it like if the game starts at 6, I don't want to eat at 5:30. If it's a special occasion, game-wise, and in the middle of winter, when it super sucks outside and you don't want to be outside, I need little things to get me through. It's like a cross-country trip by car. If you start thinking, man, I got 3,000 miles to go. Oh, I got 2,950 to go. I got 2,900. You're going to drive yourself nuts. So you got to break it up. That's what you got to do in the winter, right? So in the summer, I don't ever do any of that because I got the windows open. The sun's beaming in. But in the winter, I need these little things that are actually special, quote unquote. So I got to have the game started.
They're consolation prizes, but you got to have something.
Something to get me through until we get to April or March, whenever the good weather starts coming consistently. So I got to have, I don't necessarily care about the food as I do it's got to be during the game. So don't set it up now. We're fortunate. That's what I think. Championship Sunday is top 5 day for me because one game bleeds into the next. I don't have a half hour of that I got to kill. Right, by the time the one game's over, the other game's ready to begin.
They did overlap this one. This was especially, and they've created these larger than normal TV windows for them, but I guess more commercials at halftime or something.
It would have been devastating for me if we would have eaten at 3:30 and then the other game doesn't start at 4. Can't do that. No, she knows under no circumstances when we eat and you put the food on, we got a little island in the kitchen there. You've been in there. Put the food there and it's to help yourself. Then you go sit on the couch because that signifies good time. Not at the kitchen table.
That was the setup you had on New Year's Day.
Precisely.
Yeah. The island was covered in food.
Yeah.
And the games were on.
Right. Good time.
That's exactly what it said. It screamed holiday football.
Right. So, and that's a special occasion.
What else is happening today? Nothing. You'll go over there and graze.
Right.
You will return. I guess the grazing, that's probably the word. I mean, we all have something to eat during football. The NFL has triple headers. College football has quadruple headers. We're not fasting through every day of football all season long. But when the
No, just the first Sunday of the month for me.
There it is. Thank you. Thanks for that. Yak like clockwork. Did you ever doubt? What's it like? He just opened the door.
Because I'm a guy who fits in.
But it's the grazing. It's putting the food out and leaving it.
I love you people.
It's putting the food out and leaving it out. That signifies big football games.
But you got to have a combination.
Of what?
Healthy and crap.
It can't be, right. I guess, the Super Bowl potluck where everybody shows up with chips and soda. Like, okay, I want chips and I want the soda, but we need more than chips and soda.
Correct. Yeah. So it's got to be some form of a vegetable plate
Got to be something like that.
So
a little bit of protein. Some roll-ups or something.
Assuage my guilt.
Hey, I ate healthy.
Right. So I make sure.
I had some carrots.
Every time I go back, all 14 times.
7 pounds of chips.
That I have the carrots, the cucumbers, maybe a broccoli or two. So I have that. So then I can justify, well, then I can have this. But I can't just have this. Because then I'm thinking, this very well could be the last time I ever do this. And I don't want that. I want to have a few more times.
How much more cholesterol would you like?
Right. Yeah, exactly. So I got to have that. So you put that together, and I think the last Sunday in January easily is one of the 5 best sporting days on our calendar year-round. There's no question about it. You're going to get 4, 5, 6, 7 hours of great football, usually, and it's going to mean something, and you're going to enjoy it. I enjoyed yesterday. Don't really have a team, but that doesn't take away from my enjoyment. I suppose if I had a team and my team won, that would add to the enjoyment.
Exactly. But you don't have to have a team when Saquon Barkley's breaking off a 60-yard touchdown run to open the game. Okay, big storyline. What's going to happen? And he breaks 2 tackles and zigzags to the sideline and back to the middle of the field and scores.
That guy's the next Cam Scattaboo.
Nice tweet. I saw that, by the way. I enjoyed that.
He is. He's an amazing player. I love watching him play. That butt and those thighs, the core that man has. That's as strong as anybody who plays the game. And he's fun. He's fun to watch. Absolutely fun to watch. Yeah. Watching the Eagles, and I got a little history in there. But I root for the Eagles, but I can't acknowledge that I'm a diehard live and die by them since birth. That would be inaccurate. I do root for them, but I haven't paid the price. When they've lost, I've never suffered. I think that's how you pay the price. That's how you know you're a fan. If your team loses and you've suffered, then you have the right to be overjoyed when they win. I haven't earned that right as a fan.
DJ PK, we'll get to the suffering next. Oh, a lot of you are really, really feeling it. Stay with us.